our YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and all that bullshit. A bunch of bullshit. What is going on, everybody? How are you doing today? This
Wow.
is a still conspiracy. It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Appreciate all of you hanging out that are going to be in here hanging out with us tonight. We are going to be talking Steelers football, Panthers football, maybe just football in general. Usually, what happens. We're going to crack jokes and make fun of people. And Bronny is going to say some out of pocket stuff like we
That's
usually
not
do,
true.
but
Very, very serious today.
very, very serious. Are you sure
Very
about that?
serious. Lakers are getting their ass kicked. So, very serious today.
Are you also serious
This old
because
man gamers is back. It's not fucking back. There are so many games coming out, though. I'm trying to decide right now if I should buy that Metal Gear collection. And then Alan Wake is coming out in like 2 days. UFC is coming out in like 4 days or something like that. So, I don't know.
we're going to talk UFC too tonight? So
Oh, are we?
let's
I don't
yeah,
want to
we
talk about
are.
that.
Let's get it started.
Image, your beats are so fire.
I feel we can beat the Browns. We can compete with Baltimore if they have Lamar. And we're right there with the
That young man put his life on the line for you, for your entertainment.
We were talking all before the game. You know, everyone was like, "Nah, Ravens don't have a shot," and they're right there. You know, I really need to get that thing changed.
You need to change the whole intro and get me out of it.
No,
I
need
forgot to
keep you
take
in
my
there.
headphones off this time, and now I'm upset.
Now you're upset. Well, you're upset because the Lakers are losing. You're not upset because
That's
you
it.
heard your voice.
No, I'm upset about that too.
Lakers are losing. They're down 3.
Oh, nice. All they needed was
Okay.
for me to stop watching.
There you
Cool.
go. I mean, LeBron James has 14 points. How many assists do I need him to have? Like 5 or 6? He's close to it.
I don't remember because
I don't know. We'll look.
didn't make the bet.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember half the time. What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. This is Still Conspiracy. Bro, I've offered. I will get in contact with you, Buck. I haven't
Do
had
it,
time.
Buck. Listen, Buck. You DM me. You don't DM Shook. All right, we gotta get this done.
What's up, Jeremy Miller? How you doing today? I hope you're having a great day. We are live right now on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and we're on TikTok. We're streaming live on TikTok, so you might not, when someone comments there, you might not be able to see the comment. And I can't read word to shit, so this is gonna be fun. Now that I think about it, didn't really plan this one out, but oh goodness gracious. So, how you doing, Bronny? We did not get together last week because, for whatever reason, I don't even remember. Was it me that didn't want to do the show?
You were doing another show.
I thought it was you. Just said you didn't want to do it last week.
No, you were cheating on the conspiracy with another show, and then, as I recall, you regretted it.
I don't regret it. I just realize people stream differently.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that.
You realized you had a good thing going at home.
And now I'm back trying to make it work. All right. So we had a lot of football this weekend. A lot of crazy stuff happened. Very strange. A lot of strange games. A couple of them, notably, Bears. Who knew? They just signed.
I knew. Is this Shepherd legend Tyson Bagent?
You did. You did pick the Bears. You did pick the Bears. And we'll do our picks for week 7 and we'll do our week 8 picks. But you did pick the Bears. He came out balling, throwing that ball around and looking like a seasoned pro. I don't know, man. It's kind of weird finding these late round quarterbacks that turn into
I don't
decent
even think
players. I mean,
he was undrafted. I think.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
undrafted. Yeah. I mean, and Brock Purdy was one pick away from being undrafted,
Man, fuck
but he
Brock Purdy.
hasn't. But he hasn't been looking good the last 2 games.
No,
It's very strange.
you know why?
The Giants.
Because he's
Where
not
that come
good.
from? Facts.
Man,
The Giants. Where did that come from?
it's
Beat the
Washington.
Washington
I don't
Commanders.
know.
Yeah. We also had the Broncos finally winning a game. And the Vikings. Kirk Cousins. Three. You know, looking like he's. I saw the tweet that Lunch Break Hot Take retweeted and said that's the wrong book. Looking like the right book right now. I mean, throwing
No.
3 touchdowns against that defense.
Mm-mm.
No.
Kirk Cousins is Kirk is bad. He's not top 10.
Okay. I tell you who didn't
It's a
lose
great
this
win
week.
though. Sort of.
Yeah, sort of.
Who's that?
I tell you who didn't lose this week. And that's the Panthers because they were on
That's
fire.
right. That's right.
Winning. They are winning. They are winning. All right. Let's get into the first topic. Steelers beat the LA Rams. If you didn't know better, you would have thought this was a Steelers home game because they took over SoFi. It was very evident over the TV that it was a very Steelers heavy fan base in the crowd. I was actually live streaming it on TikTok. It's funny though when you live stream things on TikTok, people are like, "Show the game." I'm like, I'm not gonna get my account banned
Right.
to show you a damn game. I played the audio. No, it's fine, but I was not about to play the game on stream. But Steelers pull out the victory. Didn't look good in the first half, as far as what the Rams are doing. That Puka Nakua had 154 yards, and at one point actually had more yards than the whole Steelers offense, which was kind of crazy. Cooper Cup did not play like himself. Had 2 drop passes right off the bat, and then after that, just seemed to not really be part of the game. Aaron Donald wasn't a big factor. You didn't really hear his name called. Had some disruption, but didn't really have his name called. The big story here, obviously, was uh, Deontay Johnson coming back, but Deontay Johnson and George Pickens making some critical mistakes while the game was on the line, with taunting, with crackback. What's your thought on the crackback block? Because that block that they George Pickens did, I I don't. To me, they're saying it's a player safety thing. That
Yeah.
doesn't look like a player safety thing. That was just a block. You're
I've
not paying
never
attention.
I've never been a huge fan of that rule. I mean, but I get they're saying it's for player safety, blah blah blah. But I've never been a real big fan of it. Because it's the players turning around. You see them coming, right? You should be able to get out of the way of it if need be. But a lot of times in those scenarios, like I understand when a defender is kind of they're looking at the ball carrier and the block comes from another direction, a crackback from a different direction where you can't see it coming. I understand that a bit, but I don't know. I mean, like just look around. Don't get
I mean,
blocked.
it would have been. I get what you're saying, and I totally agree with you. But it wasn't even. He was coming at George Pickens and just got hit. And it wasn't George Pickens hit him in the chest. It wasn't like he hit him in the face. It wasn't like he led with his helmet. It was a clean to the chest. But it cost him 15 yards. And then later on the game, Deontay Johnson going up to the Rams corner, doing the thing and shushing, and which was a bad call. I mean, not bad call. Bad. That was bad on his part. Not a bad call. I don't know. What are you doing? Like, okay, you got a first down. Cool. Why are you?
I can get on board with the crackback thing because it is about the safety of the players, right? That's fine, whatever. There should be any flags for taunting. Like games are so the game is so much more interesting, so much more fun when players can express themselves. When you allow that kind of trash talk, and look, and it's up to the other player to not escalate it and get and turn it into a physical thing. But if somebody's just talking, you got to deal with that, man. You don't want him to get in your face and shush you. Then don't let him catch the ball. It's not that hard. He's Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, Jeremy, I don't agree with you. Steelers got outplayed the Rams, but the Steelers outplayed the Rams, but that first down ruling at the end was ridiculous. Okay, I thought you said the Rams outplayed the Steelers. That first round. Well, first off, let's talk about that because I know you're big into coaching, Rodney. You're about 2:33 minutes to the end of the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, as a coach, take all 3 of your timeouts, or do you try to hold on to one just in case and wait till the 2-minute warning or 2 minute after, in a situation like that?
I always get the wanting to use all those timeouts and still have the 2 minute warning kind of in the back pocket. But for me, I would try to save. I'm more on the side of trying to save one of the timeouts for later. But I get it because if you try to save one, you're just letting clock burn. But I would always like to have that one that you can use when you need it. As opposed to just, hey, we have a few extra seconds here, but we don't get to call a timeout if and when we really need to. So I mean, I always kind of come down on the side of having that extra timeout.
Yeah, and it was an unfortunate event. I'll say as a Steeler fan, I think Pickett was short. I think the ball would have probably been turned over. Had they been able to challenge it, I don't know if they would have got a clear view, but it did look short to me. But to sit there and watch Sean McVay just sit there and be like not be able to do anything was kind of funny because he's like telling the ref like, "Hey, they're not gonna review that," and they're like, "No, it's above 2 minutes," and then, "Oh hey, by the way, they can't review it even when it gets to the 2 minutes." So. It's kind of crazy.
That's the thing, yeah. I mean, just they should review it. It shouldn't be down to it. Cause I understand not wanting the game to take forever, right? You don't want to challenge everything, so you try to limit the number of challenges the coaches have. But the booth should be reviewing any questionable call. You have some of the worst officiating in sports. Now, but again, like we always say that they have it with that way by design. They like controversial calls. They like bad calls because it keeps people talking about the NFL from, Tuesday to Saturday when there aren't any games. I mean, there's a game on Thursday, but during the week when they're not really playing, it keeps people talking about them to have those kind of controversial calls. I mean, it's something that they could fix very, very easily if they wanted to, particularly when you're talking about spotting the ball. Like you can put a chip in the ball and just see where it is on the field, but they just refuse to do it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting situation. I think he was short, but that's not up to me. The line made that call. Um, German says the way the AFC North is, the whole division might make the playoffs, similar to the AFC East last season, except Washington. Do you know that the AFC North is the only division in the whole league that every team is above 500 or at least 500? They're the only division.
That's cool. It ain't gonna be that way for much longer.
Steelers all of them will be above. All of them will be.
Steelers going down, man. It's not looking great.
I don't know about that. It looks. Hey, it looks to me. Great. Ravens might go 1-4 in their next 5.
The Ravens are going to win their next 5 easy.
Who do they got? They got. I even said they might lose their next 5. Hold on, let me see. I want to see what they have.
The Ravens have coming up. They've got Arizona. That's Seattle.
That's a tough game.
Cleveland, the Cincinnati, and the Chargers.
They can literally go 1-4, or
there's no shot of them going 1-4. And then they got, after their bye week, they got the Rams and the Jaguars.
That's a loss. And the 49ers.
I don't understand where you're getting
the loss. I don't understand where you're getting a loss. They might go
Wow.
They might go 2-1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Incredible.
8, 9, 10. They might go
Incredible.
2-8. 2-8.
Incredible.
And
They're
finish.
going, I would say, no worse than 6-1 over their next 7 heading into that 49ers game.
I don't know. Ravens flocks biting at the bit. Biting. NFL is potentially threatening a significant discipline for fights in games or pre-game scraps, whenever that means. Fights with commentators, because Jared Judy getting absolutely destroyed by Steve Smith was kind of messed up, and then going on public TV and bringing it up was kind of funny. That's kind of hilarious.
Steve Smith was and continues to be an asshole.
Yep, the Ravens great. The Ravens great Steve Smith. Second half of this game, Steelers got it going with the run game with throwing to George Pickens. He finished with 107 yards. Deontay Johnson came back 79 yards. And then they had some little bit of production, about 85 yards out of both running backs, who both scored TDs. Kenny scoring a rushing TD. Didn't look pretty, but offensively they looked a lot better. Do you think they will continue to grow, or do you think that it's just going to get tougher for them, or still fire Matt Canada?
It's absolutely fire Matt Canada. This wasn't a good team they were playing, and they struggled quite a bit. They are just not getting it together on offense. And I don't see any reason to believe that they're going to at this point. Kenny's not playing the way that we kind of thought or hoped that he would after the preseason that he had. Najee Harris he's not any more productive than he has been over the last couple of years. We were hoping that with the improvements they tried to make to the O-line, maybe he would get a bit better, but that's not happened either. George Pickens is a great talent. Deontay Johnson's a very solid receiver. Even Calvin Austin, I think he's got some ability there, but they don't really have the capability of getting the ball to those guys when they need to. So I'm not real optimistic about them turning things around, because I'm looking at their schedule.
There's just wins across the board.
A loss to Jacksonville. Could a potential
Jacksonville hasn't looked good, so go ahead.
Jacksonville's looked really good the last couple of weeks. Potential loss to Green Bay. They're pretty up and down, but I mean,
Jordan Love,
that one can go either way. That would go
so many
either way.
interceptions. Okay.
Cleveland, Cincinnati, both losses. Arizona, definite loss. New England,
definite loss. Arizona. Now you're just
Mike Tomlin can't beat Belichick. That's a loss. The Colts, you can't hold down the Gardner. Minshew with the stash. Then you got Cincinnati again. That's another loss. Seattle, like you told me, that's a real tough one. That's probably a loss. And then they're definitely losing at Baltimore.
So we're winning one game out of the next.
No. They beat
9?
Tennessee. They beat Tennessee.
Oh yeah, that's one. That's the one game you gave us.
Listen, I'm saying they beat Tennessee. I said they could beat Green Bay.
That's it.
I mean, that's looking rough, man. I'm trying to find wins for you, but I don't know. Oh my God, LeBron just killed some. Is that LeBron? No. So one of the Lakers just went diving into the crowd.
Oh Jesus. I need Michael Porter Jr. to shoot 2 threes and make them.
Hey, how about you root for your team to win, as opposed to just being a degenerate?
Yeah, well, Hachimura, what'd he do all night? Didn't do nothing. Bunch of scrubs on the Lakers. I can't hear you. I don't know if you said something.
No, I was watching D'Angelo Russell dribble around like a fool and then throw the ball away. Anyway, I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right. We're good. Yeah. So preview the Steelers Jags game. It's in Pittsburgh. For some reason, Jaguars always give us a hard time and always beat up on us. for some reason. I don't know why.
It's because they're better than you.
It's been over the years. We've had the better teams, and we just all of a sudden we lose to Blake Bortles.
It's because they're better.
Um,
They're riding a
Blake Bortles
4-game win streak right now.
against who?
They beat Buffalo.
Buffalo ain't even that good.
Neither the Steelers.
Steelers are great.
Steelers are not great.
They beat the
Atlanta,
Falcons.
Buffalo, the Saints, and the Colts.
Really? Like one of those teams is decent. The rest are garbage.
They're all as good or better than the Steelers.
Nah, you're just hating.
I'm not hating. The Steelers have not been good. And I'm not sure.
Offensively, yes. Offensively, we haven't been good. Defensively, we've been great.
I mean, have you really stopped anybody? Like Baltimore stopped themselves. Every one of those receivers was open. They dropped 4 touchdown passes in that game.
Hey, they should have, could have, would have. They didn't do it. So
No, they didn't. I'm saying the Steelers didn't stop them.
They did.
They
did stop them.
They absolutely did not.
Did they catch the ball? Did they score touchdowns?
That doesn't mean that you stopped them.
That's a stop.
If you want to stick your head in the sand, that's cool. Like, but you're going to be really upset at like 4:30 on Sunday if you don't go into this with your eyes open. You're going to be very upset.
I'll be happy because we'll be 5-2, and the Ravens will be
really don't think you will be. You're going to struggle slowing down Travis Etienne, who's been balling out of his mind the last few weeks. For the season, he's got 500 yards and 7 touchdowns for the year. Trevor Lawrence is getting it going. I mean, they've been playing well, and they haven't even gotten Calvin Ridley involved yet. So,
I know he cost me some money the other day.
I mean,
really frustrating.
It feels like you cost yourself that. Because degenerate.
No, nobody's talking to you.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about your team.
Right.
0-6 over here.
That's right.
Texans.
They're about to win the next 3. I'll tell you that.
Against the Texans? Okay.
I mean, they're not going to win 3 against the Texans. They're only playing them once, but I'm saying they're going to win the next 3 games.
Okay. They're going to win the next 3 games.
Absolutely.
Obviously, the Texans. I know that.
Yes, obviously the Texans. And then the next 2, they have the Indianapolis Colts and the Chicago Bears on Thursday night.
I don't know. Homeboy is slinging
video.
back there.
Well, look, one, yes, and continued success to Shepherd legend Tyson Bagent. But a few weeks from now, he's probably not even going to be playing. Justin Fields, I think, will be back by then. Obviously, they're not going to be playing against Anthony Richardson. He's out for the year, and nobody's afraid of Gardner Minshew except for the Steelers. Coming off of the bye week, I think that, and listen, it's going to be critical to see what happens over the next few days here. They've been talking about bringing in a wide receiver 1 for Bryce Young. Right, there's been a lot of talk about it. Josina Anderson reported that they were discussing a couple of really well-known options internally. But one of them was not agreeable to coming to Carolina, so screw you, whoever you are. But they're looking to make an impact there, right? But they are also looking potentially to sell some players. So the team could look pretty different on Sunday than it does right now. But if they're able to bring in a wide receiver, the O-line has been improving. I mean, they're not good, but they've been improving. Bryce Young has played better every week. Chuba Hubbard has played really, really well. Miles Sanders is coming back. Hopefully, I honestly believe he was kind of a victim of the O-line and their struggles early on in the season. That's why he looked so bad early on. So I think he'll be okay once he comes back with the O-line improving. They're letting their offensive coordinator, Thomas Brown, take over play calling, which he should have been doing since week 1, but Frank Reich is kind of a dick. But they're doing that now, so hopefully that'll help things as well. But I'm feeling good about the direction they're trending. And if they go out and they get a legit a legit starting wide receiver. It's tough. It's going to be tough to get a wide receiver 1, but if you go out and get a starting wide receiver, obviously that can only help.
Yeah, for sure. Do you think that we'll see a much improved Bryce Young in the second half of the season?
I do. I think
'Cause
that
I know you
he's
said
played.
he's gotten better.
Yeah, he's getting better every week. You can tell that he has the ability, right? He's making good decisions. He's an accurate passer, and he's shown that, and he is pretty comfortable in the pocket in terms of maneuvering around the pocket. Um, Problem has just really been the supporting cast letting him down because they just have not been good in protection. They haven't really been good at receiver. Adam Thielen has played well, but the rest of the guys have not really shown up at all. So they absolutely need to get somebody else into that wide receiver room. They're getting Austin Corbett back potentially. They're gonna, I believe, activate him this week, and then he's got that 21-day window to actually get onto the roster and start playing. But that would be a big boost getting him back on that offensive line. Chandler Zavala may be coming back soon as well. We'll see. Don't know. I don't know if I should say that would be a boost. He was playing pretty poorly, but we have high hopes for Chandler. And plus the guy behind him is also bad. So hopefully he comes back healthy and they can start to get that line really solidified. Because we kind of thought that it would be much stronger than it was coming into the season. But again, they're very young. They had some injuries, and it hasn't happened yet. But we know it takes a while sometimes for O-lines to gel. Right? They got to get a lot of reps together and everything, and kind of grow together and learn each other. But I think that there's a good shot of that happening over the second half of the season, which is why I'm pretty optimistic about them getting a few wins coming out of the bye.
All right, for sure. All right.
Y'all can send George Pickens down. I know he's upset. I know he don't want to catch passes from Kenny Pickett no more.
All right, he's doing good.
No.
All right. Let's get into. I don't know if you heard. So I know you're not a fan of his, but Joe Rogan had Francis Ngannou on his show, and they were talking about him fighting Tyson Fury and everything, and Rogan brought up the fact. He said, "Hey, if John Jones beats Stipe, and you go and fight Tyson Fury, but then you come and fight John Jones for the title and win, what would happen?" He said, "Do you think PFL would let you?" He said, "Yeah, PFL would absolutely let me go fight for UFC for a title."
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we will eventually get a UFC PFL crossover?
I think that they would do it, similar to UFC allowing Conor to go and fight Floyd, because it'll just be a lot of money for them. I mean, it's not going to be a situation of, hey, yeah, go do what you want. It's going to be, hey, UFC writes us a big enough check, and yes, you can go and fight John Jones. So, I mean, I think that they would do it. I think it would be in PFL's interest, right, in their best interest, because you could potentially demand some like a mixed broadcast kind of thing, where you're promoting PFL as well as the UFC, and kind of get their name out there a bit more than it currently is. Even though they're on ESPN, but they're fairly new. I think not a ton of people know about the PFL or are very familiar with it. So I mean, I think it would be good for them. And if that's a thing that Francis wanted to do, I'm sure that they would kind of go along with it. I don't think he has to beat Tyson Fury for that to happen. I don't think that has any bearing on it. But waiting on John Jones to beat Stipe, which I think we all kind of expect is the way that's going to go. But I mean, I think it like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather and Conor and Floyd, and there's just too much money to be made for it to never happen. It might not happen while everybody is still super interested in it. It might be a little too late, but it's still going to be a big event, and they'll get it done eventually.
Gotcha. Now, this has nothing to do with PFL, but do you think Brock Lesnar will be fighting on the UFC 300 card?
Oh Lord,
He has fought on the 100 card, and he has fought on the 200 card.
I fucking hope not. I cannot stand Brock Lesnar. I really, really can't. I hate that guy.
Would you rather see UFC 300 John Jones versus Francis Ngannou or John Jones versus Brock Lesnar?
I'd rather see versus Ngannou, hands down. I don't want to watch Brock Lesnar fight. Period. Aside from not, I don't like him. I never really thought he was that good in the UFC to begin with. I mean, I think he kind of came in at a time where it was the division was a little soft, and I just don't think. Look, Brock Lesnar is a tremendous athlete. One of the best athletes ever. I mean, you could say, right? I mean, he was obviously a college wrestler. He a pro wrestler as well, even though that's not a
No, he was a national championship.
Yeah, like a legit college wrestler. He also made it to the NFL, or he was, he played in the preseason in the NFL with the Vikings, I believe. He's a UFC champion. Like he's excelled in a lot of different sports, right? But he's never been, like great, like like a top performer at him, right? I say, he was a champion in UFC, but I felt like that division was a little weak when that happened.
And then you had who was it that beat up on him?
Shane Carwin,
the Mexican. No.
Oh no,
Shane
Velasquez.
Velasquez.
Yeah,
Cain Velasquez. Yeah, he's out. I think, right?
Yeah, I think they dropped those charges against him, I believe.
Yeah, because I think I just saw him and Rampage talking.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Rampage does a cool podcast. It was him, Tito, somebody else, and they were all hanging out talking. And that was very, very interesting. There, let's see. UFC needs the PFL. Oh, damn it, Lakers! Are you going live after this, Jay, to talk about the Lakers? Get Denver fans chatting. Who's your daddy? I want to see Brock fight Gunther. Oh wait, the Laker game over now?
It is over. 119-107.
I think I missed all my things. I think I needed
like 2 more points for the game total, I believe.
Yeah, 2 more points for the game total. Yeah. I literally missed on everything. I needed Michael Porter to hit 2 threes. I think he did. Jamal Murray, 18 points. Jamal Murray, 8 assists. LeBron James, I think he got everything. Yeah. I just missed on a foul. Of course.
LeBron didn't hit everything. He finished with 5 assists.
Yeah, so I think I needed 5 or 6.
I don't know. You told me more than 5.
So. Probably lying to myself. No, 5 assists. 5 assists, 5 rebounds. I think
Reeves didn't hit the assists.
What did he get? 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, I needed 4.5.
And you needed what? You said 8 for Jamal Murray?
Yeah, 8 assists.
Yeah, he finished with 6.
Okay. Well, now I don't feel as bad.
There you go.
All right. Waste of money. Waste of fucking money. God damn it. All right. Bronny?
Come on, man.
What the hell? Why is it not working?
What?
Did I turn it off?
You got barbecue back there? And you didn't invite me? Hurt my feelings.
We both are 47-27. We're both doing pretty good. We've been picking our games really well. But we do like these weird picks. Or like these picks like you're like absolutely that team should win. And then like they don't. It's just kind of weird. So let's go with our week 8 picks.
Week 8. Time to pull away.
And we'll go with Tampa Bay, Buffalo. Do you believe in Baker Mayfield?
Do I believe in Baker Mayfield? Hell no. Buffalo has been really up and down. They've struggled quite a bit. They're coming off a loss to New England, a team they should never lose to, and they're going to take out their frustrations on Tampa Bay. and they're going to win big.
You take Buffalo?
Yep.
I'll also take Buffalo. LA Rams at the Cowboys.
Rams they're just not good enough. I mean, they're kind of a middling team. Dallas, I don't think that they're a top tier team, but they're better than LA. I'm going to take them at home.
I'm going to take the Rams. I think they're going to be able to travel well, and Puka's going to have a huge game. Minnesota at Green Bay. I don't know what's going on with the Minnesota team. They show up and beat the number one defense.
Jordan Love, man, like he started off pretty decent his first few games and has gone in the tank the last like 4 weeks. But I don't trust Kirk. Won't trust Kirk. I hate that he wears the chain. And I hate that they get him top tier receivers when he doesn't deserve it. But I am going to have to take Minnesota on the road here because Jordan Love is just an abomination.
I know this is going to make you happy. So FAD needed 20 points and he had 17 at the half and did not score it anymore.
Yeah, that's on you there, Buck.
I'm going to take Minnesota. I think Minnesota is going to ride that big win over 49ers. Atlanta at Tennessee. God, I want to go to sleep.
This is a tough one to pick because there's all the rumors about them trading Derrick Henry. So we don't know if they're going to have Derrick Henry for this game. Atlanta, I think, will bounce back. Bijan will be feeling okay this week, and I think they'll get the win on the road.
So you take Atlanta on the road. I'm going to go Tennessee.
Okay.
Go Tennessee. New Orleans at Indianapolis.
I don't know why I said bounce back, by the way. I mean, the Falcons won. When I say bounce back, I mean just play better. But the New Orleans Saints can't pick them. Can't do it. Even though they have it's Derek Carr, even though they have more talent, they're the worst. They have the worst coach in the league, arguably. I don't
worse than
I
Sean
don't
Payton?
want to pick the stash. Yes, he's worse than Super Bowl champion Sean Payton.
Worse than Harbaugh?
Yeah, unfortunately. No, I got to go with the Colts here. I'm going to say that Jonathan Taylor and Zach Moss carry them to victory.
New Orleans lost a tough match to Jacksonville. I'm going to take New Orleans.
Okay.
New Orleans. Jay won his parlay. Let's see what he says. Terrence Prince got over 11 points, plus rebounds, plus assists. LeBron over 0.5, and Jokic having less than 4 fouls. Hit his parlay. Shout out to Jay. Send some money my way, Jay. New England, Miami.
New England, Miami. Miami's coming off a tough loss to Philly. New England, they got their miracle win for the season. It's not going to happen again. Definitely taking the Dolphins.
I'll take Miami also. Battle of New York. New York Jets versus the New York Giants.
Battle of Jersey. I'm going to take the Jets.
Do I believe in Ferris's team?
No, you don't.
I don't. You're right. I will take the Jets also. Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. We already know you're taking Pittsburgh.
I'm going to take Jacksonville. Too much firepower on offense. And the Steelers, they can't get right on that side of the ball.
Steelers all day. Black and gold. Philly at Washington.
Yellow. Jalen Hurts has not been playing well, and I feel like it's going to bite them at some point. Washington just lost a game they had no business losing, even though they are Washington, losing to the Giants 14-7. I'm taking Washington in the upset.
You are just picking horrible. Philadelphia all day.
Okay, we'll see.
Houston and Carolina.
Carolina all day. I don't even know why you would ask.
This is such an easy pick. Houston.
Wow.
Beat the brakes off Carolina.
Disrespectful.
The real number one pick will show himself.
Yeah, when he beats Houston.
No, CJ Stroud is about to run roughshod over Bryce Young. he might throw for 3 touchdowns. Cleveland versus Seattle. Number 1 defense in the league.
So I don't think Deshaun Watson is gonna play football ever again. I don't know. Like he's dealing with the shoulder thing. They've won their last
thing.
2. Wow. Just wow. They won without him. They've got the top defense in the league. As much as I like Geno and those receivers and Kenneth Walker and even Seattle's defense, they've been surprisingly good. I'm going to take the Browns on the road.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Browns too. KC at Denver. I mean, this is
Kansas City by 200.
do they beat the 70-point game?
Nah. Andy Reid is respectful. They'll take their foot off the gas.
Baltimore at Arizona. Battle of the Birds.
Yeah, Baltimore wins this one. I'm going to say that the offense keeps it going. Not that they're going to score as many points as they did this past week, but they're going to keep, they'll look good. But the game is going to be closer than it should be.
Arizona is about to throw all over Baltimore, and it's going to light them
With
up.
Who?
But I'm going to still take Baltimore.
With who and
Josh
to
Dobbs.
who?
Josh Dobbs, the great Steeler great.
Yeah.
Cincinnati at San Francisco. What is going on with San Francisco?
I'll tell you, it's very easy what's going on with San Francisco. Brock Purdy sucks. And when they don't have every piece of that Voltron over there that they put together, he can't get it done. Now, Christian McCaffrey played hurt this week, so I imagine he'll be playing again next week. Debo is out, I believe. I don't know about Trent Williams. I don't know if Trent Williams is going to play, but I'm going to take Cincinnati on the road over San Francisco.
Chicago at LA.
You didn't even pick the game.
Oh, San Francisco. Who'd you do? San Francisco?
I said Cincinnati.
I'm gonna take San Francisco. Chicago at LA Chargers.
Jay is asking if Debo is that important. It's not. I mean, I don't want to say no, but it's not that he himself is that important. It's that Brock Purdy is bad, and he needs all of that talent that they've put around him in order to be successful. Chicago
looked good without Fields.
They looked okay. I mean, the Raiders were playing Aiden O'Connell and Hoyer as well, so it wasn't a real NFL game.
Wow.
But congrats to Shepard Ledge and Tyson Bagent. I hope he plays well again, but they don't have enough to beat the Chargers. Taking LA.
I'm gonna go Chargers. I'm gonna go Chicago.
Okay. Keep on falling behind.
Las Vegas at Detroit.
Speaking of the quarterback situation in LA or Las Vegas, I don't know if Jimmy's going to be back. I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. Detroit's going to beat the hell out of them.
Yeah, they're kind of embarrassed last week. They didn't even show up, bother to play. So it will definitely be Detroit. All right, we will tally those up next week, see where we're at. Hopefully, Bronny's behind once again.
No chance.
I want to actually, before we get into our next topic, wanted to kind of ask you. So there's been a lot of debate between the T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa. Who's the one out of Dallas? Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons. And right now, the two names that are coming out are T.J. Watt, Myles Garrett. Now, people are saying, well, Myles Garrett gets double teamed, and well, that's not TJ's fault. The teams are not double teaming him. People are saying, well, T.J. Watt plays outside linebacker. He's not a defensive end. All this stuff. Now, I know you're not biased, and I know you're an outside looking in. The four. Let's keep those four.
Right, you said Watt, Garrett, Parsons, and
Bosa. And you could throw Crosby in there if you want. You could do those five.
I don't want. We'll keep the four.
Okay. Who are kind of rank them in your own sense? Rank them and give me your thoughts on where they should be or who's the best or because it looks like those guys might. It even looks like, if you think about it, Rodney, there might be a defensive player of the year MVP. Because there's no quarterback unless Lamar comes out. If Lamar comes out this week and throws another like 4 touchdowns, maybe he pulls it right. But I don't think he's going to do
Listen,
it.
I'll say this. No chance the defensive player wins MVP. That's why they have the defensive player of the year award. They're not going to do it, whether it's deserved or not. And I'm not saying none of these guys would deserve it, but they're just not going to do it. The same way that Tyreek Hill can go for 2,200 yards and he's not going to win MVP either. Right? It's essentially a quarterback award, right? But in terms of ranking these guys, I'm putting Parsons at 4, just because, while he is very talented, he has been a little bit quieter recently than the other guys. I would say neutralized a little bit, and I think the other 3 are, hands down the best edges in the league. Garrett, Bosa, and Watt. If I'm going to rank them, I'm probably going to go Bosa 3rd, Garrett 2nd, and Watt 1. I think, and like, it could be, you can put those 3 kind of in any order. The reason I would put Bosa, personally, the reason I put Bosa 3rd is because they have so much talent on that San Francisco front. Not even just on the D line, but they've got elite talent on that D line, and they've got the great linebackers playing behind them and everything. So I think that, not that he's a product of that, but I think that does make his job a bit easier, right?
Yeah.
And then between Garrett and Watt, I mean, honestly, I think it's kind of just a coin flip. You can make the argument that, Garrett gets more attention from offenses because, he hasn't had another top edge rusher on the other side for most of his career. But the fact is that anytime that Pittsburgh defense needs a play, TJ Watt steps up and makes a big time play. And that's aside from just, playing well generally, he's got that, what do they call it? Like a sense of the moment, actually, but now that I think about it, I'm actually going to drop TJ down to like 50th because he speared Cam Newton in the shoulder unnecessarily, and fuck that guy. So
you're like some of the people that were on Twitter when he socked Zay Flowers. Like, he hit him in the face. Dirty player.
He hit him with the forearm, but I mean, look, he didn't hit him in the face. He's wearing a helmet, right?
Yeah, exactly. But okay. Real quick, do you want to react to the Lakers Nuggets? Like, the Nuggets.
I mean, look,
it's the first game.
It was a nice win for Denver. They look really good. They brought most of their team back. They got their rings tonight. It was a big night for them in Denver. I'm not going to take much of anything else away from that. I mean, like I said, it's the first game. It's kind of whatever. I mean, the Lakers, Reeves and Russell were there last year, obviously, and Hachimura was there, but those guys came in halfway through the season.
Rodney froze. All right. Rodney froze. He will be right back. Let's put him in the back for a second. Wait, is he back? He is not. Okay. Once Rodney returns, we will bring him back. Just let me know when you come back, Rodney. Yeah, I mean, I agree. Jose pulled his plug. Jose said, "You're done, son." Sorry, I heard something. Yeah, absolutely. First game of the season. There's 2 of you.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. There's 2 of you.
But
he said, Bronny Jose pulled his plug. I sure did.
No, so those guys were there last year, like I mentioned, Reeves and Russell and Hachimura and them, but they weren't there the full season. I think they added some
Reeves
guys.
Reeves was, but
but he didn't play. He wasn't playing the full season. And they added some guys in free agency, and I think that they're going to take a little while to find their roles and their rhythm, in this new Laker team, because Reeves, he's not going to be a role player anymore, right? Like they paid him, he's a starter. They're going to be expecting him to be that number 3 scorer behind LeBron and Anthony Davis. D'Angelo's got to figure something out. You got to do something, D'Angelo. You got to do something, and you got to do it well, and you got to do it consistently. So he's got to figure out what that is. Hachimura, he's got to figure out his role. They got Taurean Prince in there. They got Christian Wood in there now. So they've all got to figure out where they fit in. And I think it's going to take a little while. So I don't really take too much away from.
Yeah, and Vanderbilt didn't start tonight. Was it not?
No, he was out. He was out tonight.
Yeah. And I know he's not a great offensive player, but defensively he's going to help the team.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. All right. Let's get into, because I got some ranting to do. About this movie. Top 3
what movie?
Favorite. I'll tell you when we start talking about it. So, obviously, you already know I am a Steelers fan. Ronnie's a Panthers fan. So there's going to be mostly those games. So, Bronny, let's start off with your first game, which I actually was going to have this on my list because I remember this and I remember why it was such an important game and why it meant something. And I actually just watched a documentary on this player and they were talking about this and they were talking about the owner of this going to him saying, we're going to draft you, and then not drafting him. So this game really did something. So your first favorite game?
My first one was Thanksgiving 1998, Minnesota versus Dallas, the game where Randy Moss had 3 catches for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns.
That was with Randall Cunningham too.
Okay. First of all, don't say it like that. No.
I like Randall Cunningham. I like Randall Cunningham, but it was with Randall.
That's part of why it's on my list. I love Randall Cunningham, I love that he got that late career resurgence because Philly did him dirty. But it was kind of the, I know that he had been playing well prior to this, right? But this was a national game, obviously. That's the only game going on. Everybody's watching the NFL on Thanksgiving. You're playing against America's team, right?
The team that was supposed to draft you.
Yeah, that also.
That their owner said, "I will draft you," and didn't do it.
And he had a kind of a coming out party, right? I mean, he kind of announced himself as the guy at wide receiver, even though he was halfway through his rookie year. And like I said, just seeing Randall out there. Having that kind of
chucking the ball,
it was amazing. It made a big impression at the time when I was watching it. So that's why that one is there for me.
The biggest travesty was that team losing to Atlanta to go to the Super Bowl.
I know
that team should have absolutely been in the Super Bowl.
I know they were going to win the Super Bowl, and fucking Atlanta.
Instead, now we got to listen to Shannon Sharp talk about he's a Super Bowl champ and Sean only got his second. God damn it! All right. Number 2. Obviously, I knew this was going to be on the list.
Okay, you didn't know that. All right, so you don't know me.
Sure did.
2015 NFC Championship game, Arizona and Carolina. Carolina won this one 49-15, and that was the end of a magical season for Carolina. That was the last game they played that year, and they went out with a 34-point win. And it was a big deal because everybody was kind of questioning whether or not Carolina was for real, and saying that the Cardinals were, they were probably the best team in the NFC, and they had Carson Palmer, and he was having such a great year, and he should have been MVP, and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, Carolina, right from the opening kick, beat the hell out of Arizona, and it was so much fun to watch. And I mean, it was a major blowout. That's why it's on the list, because you don't get a whole lot of games like that in that setting. And that was probably the peak for Cam. And obviously with the injury that came after, and the way the second half of his career unfolded was unexpected, and they never got back to that high.
Yeah, that was a great. Was Jonathan Stewart on that team? Did I see him right there?
Yeah,
right here to the right of to the right of Cam.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has his right in front of who's your tight end? God, I can't remember now.
Greg Olsen.
Greg Olson. Yeah, okay, that's John.
That's not him on the right in front of Olsen. Stewart's 28, right there. I mean, I guess he is in front of Olsen, but
who's okay?
The 4. I'm not. Oh, God, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't. I'm sure Jay got it. Okay. I can't remember now.
Jericho caught it.
He did, but he shouldn't even have been on the field.
Oh yeah, Moss definitely got that get back on Dallas. All right, and your third game, which is a great game.
Yeah, this one, the 1999 Super Bowl between the St. Louis Rams and the Tennessee Titans. This whole playoffs for me was really, really interesting, really amazing. I didn't think that the Rams were going to make it. I was a big fan of Sean King, the quarterback down in Tampa, and I thought they had the defense to stop the Rams, and everybody thought, oh, they're going to run them off the field, and it ended up being like an 11-6 game. And they cheated Tampa Bay on a Bert Emanuel catch, which is actually the rule now because he caught the ball, but then he dove to catch it, but then when he fell to the ground, obviously the ball hit the ground. He never lost control of it or anything, but that wasn't the rule then. The ball just couldn't touch the ground, so they disallowed it. But going into this game, I was a big Steve McNair fan, loved Eddie George. And both these teams were just great stories. You had the Titans with that Music City Miracle to beat the Bills.
Buffalo.
Yeah. And honestly, this was maybe one of the first games that really kind of played out like a movie to me, right? The Rams were ahead like 9-0 going into halftime, and the game wasn't really good. Wasn't really entertaining. It wasn't the game that we all kind of thought it was going to be. And then things really picked up in the second half, and like all the stars really showed out. Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt both went over 100 yards receiving. Bruce had like 160. Marshall Faulk didn't do anything on the ground, but he had like 90 yards receiving. Javon Curse had a sack. Steve McNair, he didn't throw any touchdowns, but he had a decent day passing, a great day running. Eddie George was grinding out those yards the way Eddie George did. And then obviously, you had that last drive where they started on their own, like 10 or 11, and Steve McNair drove them all the way down the field, and to get tackled 1 yard short, reaching the ball out, it was like I said, it was a movie, it was a Hollywood ending. It was probably my favorite Super Bowl ever.
No, I remember that. I remember that game. I remember that last pass and him reaching out and just it was there. Like if had he like been able to leap or just lunge a few seconds, it would have been close. Jeremy Miller gives his Giants and Patriots first Super Bowl. Chiefs versus Colt wild card with Andrew Luck. Cowboys versus Bills 95 Super Bowl. All right.
Nobody likes Cowboys fans, Jeremy.
We'll start off with mine. And I think the last one is probably going to bug Bronny the most. The other two are obvious ones for me. But the last one is just sentimental. But the first one, it's obvious.
I know it.
Cardinals Steelers Super Bowl.
An unbelievable catch and throw.
Unbelievable catch. But the drive before that catch was they had got a holding call that put them like on the 1 yard line. And for Ben to just start chucking the ball around the field, Holmes catching the ball, and they tried the same play on the left side, missed it, and then he did it on the right side and was able to catch it, get his toes down, and everyone argues he never had the ball, that he lost control of it going out of bounds, yada yada yada. Hey. There wasn't that replay. There wasn't that rule then. So
yeah.
I was okay with it, and we ended up winning our Super Bowl. And I had a great time that night. I was at a free taco truck party.
I'll tell you, when Larry Fitzgerald caught that, I think it was a slant going over the middle, and he split those safeties.
And who missed it? And who split?
He split the safeties and he ran for a touchdown. I thought it was done. I was like, there's no way they come back from Larry Fitzgerald doing that to them, but they did.
But there were some great. Obviously, the Harrison interception on the one basically.
Kurt Warner the worst, man. Titans should have won that Super Bowl. He didn't deserve it.
And then he went with Arizona, and because who they beat in that, was it the Giants they beat?
I don't remember. I don't remember,
but
was not a great conference back then.
No, it wasn't. I was going to say NFC.
Oh no, the Diamondbacks are ahead.
Are they? Oh God.
4-2 in the middle of the 7th.
Oh, that's why Buck's been quiet.
Yeah. Lost the Super Bowl in 2008, and they lost to, or they beat on their way to it. They beat Atlanta, Carolina, and the Eagles.
Ooh, they took your team out too.
Oh, that you don't remember that one? That was the year that Carolina decided that they had to open up money by paying Jake Delhomme $20+ million guaranteed, which was a ton of money back then. And my man went into that playoff game and threw 5 interceptions. He did, like, his arm was falling off. Like, he wasn't an NFL quarterback at that point, but they didn't have any other choice really. And he went into that game. He threw 5 interceptions. They lost 33-13.
Oh, I got
which is also part of what makes that 2015 game so much better.
There you go. All right, my second game. You obviously know what this game is, and I hope Jose's in the chat. It's one of my favorite games, and that is the NFC Championship game between Baltimore Ravens and the Steelers.
That would be the AFC Championship.
AFC Championship game. Hard hitting game, very hard hitting. Ryan Clark damn near killed Willie McGahee at the end of that game. Tried to kill him.
Dirty ass Steelers.
Flacco was a rookie, and he throws a pick 6 to Troy Polamalu.
To who?
That's the only time to Troy Polamalu, who I forgive for making mistakes, and runs it back to a touchdown. And we go on to play in the Super Bowl against the Cardinals. That was both of those teams would have been won the Super Bowl. Either one of those teams would have won. I think for some reason our defense, I think Ravens defense was a little bit better, but we had the equal amount, same talent. But I think Ravens had a little bit better defense. I just think had maybe Flacco had another year, it would have been maybe different, because I think we beat you again, or we beat them in the playoffs again before they beat us at home.
I'm going to say that the Ravens defense was significantly better because they turned the ball over 4 times and only lost by 9.
But the Steelers were, I think, the number 1 defense.
Only 1 turnover. So you were +3 on the turnovers and won by 9. With one of those turnovers essentially winning the game for you.
Hey, we still won, right?
Yeah, no, they did. I'm just saying I think that the Ravens had the better defense, because they should have gotten blown out in that game. They should have. Flacco threw 3 picks in that game. He wasn't good.
But I'll take it.
Yeah.
I don't recall that game. All right. And my final game. Now, I think Brian is going to have an issue with this one. But it's a sentimental thing, because they did this whole opening for it. It was a Monday night game. They did this whole opening for it. His wife spoke, talking about his dad and everything.
Are you talking about Brett Favre? You talking about that sexual abusing, drug addict, fraud committing piece of shit?
Hey.
I will.
Accusations. These are not accusations. This is false accusations. And
I'll say one thing. What on earth was that defense doing to allow 399 yards on 22 completions?
Right? They said, let's do it for your dad. Let's do it for your dad.
Like all the corners went up to Brett before the game. Like, we got you. We got you. Don't worry.
Not his wide receivers, just the corners are like, just throw it. Don't worry about it. We ain't going after it. Sentimentally, when you think about football and you think about, especially men playing football, you think about doing it for their dads, a dad approval kind of thing. So I think that game sentimentally meant something. Now, was Brett Favre a good guy?
No. But it was an incredible game. It was. An incredible.
I mean, it was against the Raiders, but it was against the
Raiders. Regardless.
All right. It is time, Bronny.
Oh Lord.
STV time. And my rant.
Well,
first off, right? Let's talk about Spider-Man 2. You've been playing?
I've played a bit. I'm not too far into it, but I'm really enjoying it so far. It is obviously very familiar. They had the two previous games, but in this one you get to play as Peter and Miles, and I think it's a nice little twist that I'm not, like I said, I'm not very far into it, but I know the story is you're kind of protecting some of his villains from Craven, who's out there in New York hunting. And so far it's very well written, very well acted. The opening sequence is outstanding when you're fighting Sandman, in the city. So yeah, I'm really, really digging it.
How are you liking the dynamic between Miles and Peter?
I want to see how it develops over the game, but I mean, just in terms of the characters, I think I love it. But in terms of switching back and forth, I'm not sure how that's going to be handled in the main game because I'm still sort of in the tutorial. So I'm not sure if you get to just kind of switch on the fly whenever you want, or if it's like a story kind of thing. But the characters, I think they've handled them really, really well.
What I've loved is as soon as this game came out, maybe 5 hours in, somebody had already completed it, and you got to watch all the cutscenes. So I already know what happens. This is amazing. But I thought, and you've already passed the first scene, what everyone was making fun about, which is hilarious to me, is that opening scene, and spoilers if you haven't played the game. They're in the classroom and you kind of see Sandman going by and he's starting to, and Miles tells Peter, like, we gotta go, like something's going on. They go upstairs and he's like, I'm gonna get fired, and they take off and they turn into Spider-Man and they go to fight. Someone goes, could you imagine some other teacher going upstairs and seeing the teacher's clothes and the student's clothes on the floor and they're thinking, what's going on?
Well, just how they left the room, because Miles is sitting there and he notices because there's like sand coming into the window, and Peter doesn't notice because he's teaching, and he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and so he leaves and he goes to see what's going on, and he sees that it's Sandman, and he can't, he's Miles, he's very new, he can't handle that. He comes back and he's like, I need your help. And like everybody just starts laughing. He's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, I need your help.
This is weird. Yeah, this is weird. I've seen a lot of the cosmetics, some dope costumes that you can find and everything like that. And I like that about the game. Even though it's like open world, it's still, obviously one player, it's not online. But from what I've seen gameplay wise, it looks beautiful. The swinging, the memes that have come out of it have been amazing. Where people put like old Spider-Man games and they're like, if you don't have a PS5, and it's some old Spider-Man game. They made Miles Morales bisexual extrovert. Did they? I haven't seen that. To be honest with you, I haven't seen that. So I don't know. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen anybody complain. Usually I will see that stuff, people complaining about that, but I haven't seen it yet, so I'll have to look. Are you still playing Starfield?
Not right now. The plan was to beat it and then take a break. And I was actually kind of jumping into Assassin's Creed Mirage. So I'm playing that, and then obviously Spider-Man came out, so I'm kind of going through those, giving Starfield a little break before I go back to that.
Okay. Right now, was supposed to play a tournament on Sunday, but they canceled it because of issues. So I haven't played that yet. They just dropped for Fortnite the Jack Skellington and Michael Myers skins. So all I've been seeing playing freaking Fortnite is Jack getting murked by Jack Skellington, and now people are emoting because the emote that Michael Myers does is he plays a song on a piano, and that's all you hear in the game is everybody playing that shit. It's freaking creepy because I hate Michael Myers. I hate Michael Myers. I'm deadly afraid of Michael Myers. There's just actually
that's the right attitude to have. I mean, he's not a nice guy.
Yeah, Halloween, my two boys were like 6 or 7, and we're walking down the street, and they had a haunted house, and there's a Michael Myers in the middle of the street standing there, and I'm like,
we gotta go a different way.
I'm about to run, and I'm about to leave the kids. Like, fuck them, I can make new ones, you know. And then I start yelling. I go, the kids are afraid of you. Can you not do that? And the kids are like, Dad, we're not afraid. I'm like, shut up.
He's like, yes, you are.
And so the guy takes off his mask. He's like, I'm so sorry. And the kids are like, we're fine. I'm like, shut up. So, yeah, deadly fan of Michael Myers. Okay. So I want to talk to you about this movie I watched the other day. Because I am pissed. I started yelling because of this movie.
What movie?
Forrest Gump. Okay.
Oh my god. I can't be here for this. Why? Why are you upset about Forrest Gump? Why are you upset about Forrest Gump 30 years later?
Because why do we sympathize for Jenny?
We don't. Forrest does.
A lot of people. Ferris. Forrest. They said Ferris. I was like, why is Ferris sympathize? No. This woman.
Jenny, a terrible person.
She a horrible person. This man loved her. Loved her. And freaking she comes back, uses him because she ain't got a job, you know, buys him presents with his own money. Because you know damn well she didn't have no money to buy him shoes. Okay? Then this fool tells her, I love you, I want to marry you. And she leaves. She bones him and then she leaves. Okay? Gets pregnant. Okay? And then when she finds out she has HIV, if y'all didn't know, spoiler alert, she then goes, you know what, Forrest, now I'm going to give you a chance because I'm dying and I need you to pay for my medicine because I know you got money.
There you go.
To keep my ass alive. That is a, man. I would have called Child Protective Services, took that kid away from her, and said, go eat your AIDS sandwiches somewhere else. Okay?
Sandwiches.
Yes. She didn't deserve Forrest.
She didn't deserve.
And I guarantee you, she didn't tell him about that she had HIV. So she probably boned him again.
Well, I mean, they didn't even know what that was.
Yeah, so Forrest probably had it.
Probably.
That movie upsets me. Bubba died for no reason, and you give that two non-legged freak all his money.
You hate on Lieutenant Dan too?
Did you like Lieutenant Dan how he treated Forrest?
I didn't like Lieutenant Dan either. Everybody treated Forrest poorly. Forrest is the best.
Except for Elvis.
Forrest is the best of us, and everybody treated him poorly.
It is personal.
I mean, I don't understand. I don't understand 30 years later why.
Because
had you not seen it before?
I've watched it millions of times. As an adult, you see things differently.
Why?
As a kid or as a teenager, you're like,
they're star-crossed lovers.
Yeah. Oh, he finally got the love of his life. No. Fuck that hoe.
Well, he did. She didn't.
Out there doing blowing shit, trying to jump off buildings. This man went to a Black Panther rally, beat the shit out of somebody in a army suit for her.
Yeah. Forced to
man ran across the country for her. She is a bad woman.
The worst. The absolute worst.
Now,
I
is
can't
is she a bad woman because of her circumstance of her father beating her, you know, assaulting her,
listen,
things like that?
That doesn't help, but you have to. That doesn't make you a bad person.
But if you're put in a situation around a bad lifestyle, does that affect you down the line? Like it's almost like the butterfly effect, you know, like just your circumstance.
It can, but you like, it doesn't turn you into a bad person, right? You're gonna be the type of person that you're gonna be. Now, the kind of behavior that you see modeled will obviously influence you, right? But that wasn't the only behavior she saw. I mean, and she wasn't like that when they were young, right? She was nice to Forrest when they were young.
Oh, she didn't. Susie sat down. He was like, "Are you stupid or something?"
Well, nice. He was kind of stupid, but she was friends with Forrest, right? She was nice to him when they were younger.
He was so stupid. He played for Alabama.
Facts.
He was a ping pong champ.
I forgot he was a ping pong champ too.
Ping pong champ. Did they ever say he was an Olympic champ or just a ping pong champ?
I think it was the Olympics. I think it was. But no. She knows how to treat people well.
Football All-American, but he's so stupid, huh?
Dexter Manley couldn't read. She knows how to treat people well. She just chose not to with Forrest. She chose to use him. And that's not because she was abused.
It is the most random rant, Jeremy, because I happen to go into the room. My girlfriend is watching Forrest Gump, and it's right when she comes back to him.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how like you catch something on TV and you just like start watching it. So it was like right when she came back to him, and he's talking about how much they were peas and carrots again and all this stuff, and I'm just like, okay. And then she leaves him after she bones him. I'm like, are you serious right now? And then he's doing the running, and then she hits him up. She's like, oh, come. Oh, by the way, you're a dad.
Yeah.
Just letting you know that you're a dad. Oh, by the way, I have HIV, so I need you to take care of me because I work as a waitress, so I can't afford the drugs. So I know you got money. Can you please take care of me now? And he's like, yeah, I'll take care of you. You ain't got to work no more. She didn't deserve that.
No. But, life ain't about what you deserve.
I guess. And poor little Forrest, he don't know what's wrong with his mama. He didn't know she was a freaking skank out there just doing heroin and trying to jump from buildings and shit. Hanging with the Black Panthers.
Why are you saying that like it's a bad thing?
Well, because homeboy was hitting her.
Okay, but that's not the Black Panthers.
Yeah, it was the other guy. Well, he was part of it. Wasn't he part of the Black Panthers? Or what,
yes, but that wasn't one of the tenets. It wasn't one of the tenets of the Black Panthers to
y'all let white people. Y'all let white people hang around the Black Panthers?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Thought y'all hated
goddamn sure. Hey, why don't you, instead of getting really upset about 30-year-old fictional movies, why don't you watch the Black Panther documentary?
We should. I should watch that. I'll watch it before the fighter.
Before what?
The fighter.
Rankings
could have had been all pro kick and punt returner on some pump the hell Devin Hester, right? How did he not make the NFL if he was that good at Alabama? Because he went to
He had no interest in going to the NFL, Jeremy. You ever seen the movie, Jeremy?
I don't hate.
We already covered that, Bazel.
I don't hate Lieutenant Dan because even though he treated Forrest like dog crap, he at least showed up for Forrest and kept his word. We need to give Black History fact about the Black Panthers tomorrow. Absolutely. No, you already have one. I think Bronny already has a Black History fact tomorrow.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so we'll get one though. He'll shout me out. I know he will. He'll be like, "This is a Black History fact about the Black Panthers." Shout out to Shrunk.
Oh my god! I've got one specifically for you next week.
All right. Speaking of Black Panther, they have leaked some stuff about King Dynasty and Secret Wars. And if it is true, I'm excited.
I have not heard these leaks, so. But I don't want to hear it because I haven't watched any of Loki.
Well, this has nothing to do with Loki. None of this has nothing to do with Loki.
It doesn't matter. You got to.
Well, you watched Loki season 2, right?
No, I watched season 1.
Season 1. You saw Quantumania.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, this isn't spoilers.
Okay. Well, it's not spoilers because it's not true, right? So
I hope it's not true. I hope it's true because it's gonna be good. But basically, King Dynasty is gonna be Doctor Strange, Spider-Man. There's another character. It's a third character taking on the Kings, losing. And Secret War is Deadpool, Logan, and it's Captain America, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man taking on the Kings, losing with other Avengers. Then Secret Wars is a bunch of characters, but the main ones being Deadpool, Logan, and what was the third one? Taking on the Kings and the Beyonder with a bunch of other superheroes.
So that and this is kind of what I was afraid of. That's what they're using the multiverse for, because like they had said before, that with the new Deadpool, they weren't changing anything, and Logan was still dead and all that.
So here. That's what, because you just said that now. I now remember. So what it is that Secret War, it's going to be Tobey's Spider-Man and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man plus Logan, Deadpool, and some others going to fight. But at the end of that, because remember all the timelines are branching, that is going to cut off. It's going to basically cut all the timelines. So all like Fox's stuff will stay Fox and everything, and there'll eventually just be that one timeline. And it'll introduce the X-Men into, how Bazal says, the Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline.
Okay.
So that's how we'll get introduced. So like Fantastic Four, X-Men, how they'll all come in is because of that.
Nice.
But if that means we're getting more Wolverine, I'm excited.
Yeah. If Hugh Jackman's playing him.
Yes.
So that'll be fantastic.
The multiverse was a bad idea.
Such a hater.
He is.
Such a hater, man.
How do you do a show with him every week?
I don't even know. Honestly.
Secret Wars is going to take a long time to do. Yes. I'm assuming we might not get it till like 2026, 2027, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even longer. But
it's time to bring in the X-Men. Yes. We're past due.
There's a lot of good stories you can do with the X-Men. Oh, that's who also is in it. So the Secret Wars is also supposed to have Patrick Stewart in as Magneto. So that's how. So the way to end it and say goodbye to all the old franchises and then put them all in one is that way. So they're gonna bring them all back. So Toby, Andrew, boom, set everybody out.
So like what they were trying to do with the Flash, but they're gonna do it right.
Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta ruin my movie?
I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to wrap my head around it because I did not see the link or the leaks.
Piss me off right now. But Brian, I have one thing to say to you.
Did you wash your ass today?
Now you ruined my mood. So
they had what was his face? Who's Magic Mike, Uncle Mike, Magic Mike. Who's the guy that played Magic Mike? Channing Tatum. Yeah, he was supposed to be Gambit, and now
I don't like that.
Scrap that.
Okay.
You don't want to see Magic Mike be Gambit?
No, I like Channing Tatum, but I don't think that he could play Gambit.
A better way to say goodbye to old franchise is just move on to something better.
We're never saying goodbye to Hugh Jackman as Wolverine.
He is the only Wolverine. He's perfect casting. Perfect casting. I would like to get Ghost Rider. Personally, that's just me. But
Why do you like things that are bad?
You don't like Ghost Rider and the Peloton Stare?
Penitence.
Penitence Stare. I said Peloton. Penitence Stare. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
Turns his bike into fire.
Just rides around on a motorcycle.
Who's your favorite X-Men?
Wolverine.
Okay. Wolverine fans.
Wolverine.
I think Channing Tatum can't play a Cajun person.
Nah. But I like Channing Tatum. You know, he's likable. He's funny. He ain't got range. So that would be not great.
Patrick Stewart is the only Charles Xavier for me.
McAvoy did well.
As a young Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nightcrawler is your favorite? Nightcrawler is always my... Do you know who was my favorite, actually? Not my favorite, but Wolverine's always been my favorite. Juggernaut. Juggernaut was always like... I always rooted for him. I just wanted to see him... Because he had an interesting story with being Charles Xavier's brother. His powers weren't mutant. It came from a crystal. Was it the Mcron crystal, I believe?
He just ran through stuff.
No, but he had like unlimited strength. Things didn't hurt him. Like the way he got done in Deadpool was way better than how he got done in X-Men.
Like just ran through stuff.
It was still dope though.
Oh, yeah.
You don't like that?
I didn't dislike Juggernaut, but like
I would hope if we do bring an X-Men that they do the storyline of Rogue taking Carol Danvers' powers.
Oh, is that a story? I haven't heard that. I've never heard of that one.
He was in the X-Men universe.
He wasn't an X-Men, is what he's saying. Not that he was not in the X-Men universe.
But he was
part of the X-Men.
But he wasn't a bad guy, but he was like a
bad guy.
You know, he worked with the X-Men a couple times.
He was very bad. He was a terrible person.
Was he though?
Yes.
Wouldn't you be if your brother was in your head all the time?
Did you even watch the early 90s X-Men cartoon?
Yeah, and his brother was messing
with
his head
terrible.
And he was terrible. Is determined of the... I can't pronounce that.
God damn it. Like, just the nerd in here is...
Both the Ravens and Panthers need Juggernaut as a running back. His powers are magic, not mutant. Yeah, exactly. His powers were magic. But he was...
I can't even believe... Like, that's the kind of thing that I'm talking about. This is why, Disney has to put Kevin Feige in charge and take the stories away from you nerds. Who the fuck cares if it's mutant or magic? It's the same goddamn thing. Yes, it is. Because none of it's real. None of it makes sense.
I mean, mutants are real. Okay.
Oh, good Lord.
Have you not seen the albino?
Oh, my God. The only mutant that I would accept as being real is that dude in X-Men 3 whose power was, I have 1,000 needles that are half an inch long and they cannot reach you. You have to hug me for me to hurt you. That's the only mutant that's real.
We should absolutely talk about mutants in overtime tomorrow. Just saying. There's your overtime show. You don't believe in magic, Brodney? Have you? Speaking of magic, did you see the interview with Jeannie Buss and Up in Smoke, Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson?
No.
Oh my God, she told on herself. So she was talking about how Magic was 19 and she was 17 when he first came to the Lakers, and he came to Jerry Buss's house. And the way she said it and smiled, she's like, I was 17, he was 19. Everybody in the comments are like, yeah, Magic hit that. Mutants versus magic.
But Jeremy's question does remind me, you've seen Magic for Humans, right? The Netflix show. No. Justin Willman. You remember it was on one of the clips went viral years ago where he was just out in a park and he had a guy sitting in a chair and he like put a blanket over him, and he made him disappear, right? And he had everybody in the crowd pretending they couldn't see him. So he was running around, jumping in people's pictures, stealing stuff out of people's picnic baskets like he's fucking Yogi. And like he started freaking out at the end because like nobody could hear him and nobody could see him. And Justin Willman, like the magician, left. He had to go take a call, and so he just left. And he was like, nobody's ever going to be able to see me again. It was really funny. But he was doing an interview. He was talking about a show that he did, like a live show. And he said that some woman, because the whole thing he was talking about, he didn't understand why adults, some adults can't just enjoy the show, right? When it's a magician. And he was like, he finished the show, and some woman came up to him and was like, I know magic isn't real. And he was like, he looked at her, he was like, cool, me too. Right? And he told me, he's like, if magic was real, I wouldn't be a magician. Right? Like, so no one believes in magic, Jeremy. It's nonsense. But it's fun, and you don't analyze it. Like,
remember they had a whole show
Magic
of a
versus
guy.
Mutants.
You remember how they had a whole show about a guy
Revealing
exposing
the
magic
secrets?
tricks?
Yeah, and
at
he
the
had
end,
to
he's
wear
like,
the mask.
This could threaten my life.
Yeah.
And I spent every week watching that damn show. Like, I want to see who this motherfucker is, and it ended up just being some weird looking dude. You're like, all right. So dumb. Hey, boo boo, let's see what they have in here. And there's a pick in the basket.
Yeah.
All
You've
right.
seen the YouTube clips, Jeremy? You should watch the show. The show's really good. It's really, really good.
Are you watching any shows right now? Anything?
Not really. Waiting for
Loki, yeah.
Taking a little break on Wu-Tang before I go back into that. But there's not really anything else going on. Looking for some Halloween stuff right now.
Are you a big Halloween guy?
Not a huge Halloween guy, but I like to watch the horror-ish stuff around the season.
But you say you don't like horror movies.
That's why I said horror-ish. Sure.
So, like, what's a horror-ish movie? You ever watch Five Nights at Freddy?
When you say that, it doesn't sound right. No, I don't. I've never been in a Five Nights at Freddy, and it's just.
And it's got I watched a 2-hour video on it. It's an interesting lore. Real crazy. People, whoever came up with the story is sick in the mind. But.
That dude is sick. But I heard about the show 30 Coins. Have you heard of that?
No,
it's on HBO. It's from HBO Europe, and it's a boxing ex-con preacher. And essentially what the show is, they call it, that like the monster of the week kind of setup where he's going around and fighting different monsters, right? I just started watching the first episode. I haven't even finished the first episode yet, but the beginning of it, the 30 coins is a reference to Judas, the silver coins and everything. Mm-hmm. And the very beginning, there's a guy, older guy, walks into this bank and just starts shooting people, right? And he's just walking around just shooting people one at a time. And then the security comes out and they shoot him, and he turns around, guns down the security guy, keeps going. Like I said, and he took a couple shots at the back and kept going. Gets into this elevator, goes upstairs, passed by one woman, didn't kill her, so I'm sure that's coming back. But anyway, gets into the elevator, goes upstairs. He's still shooting people. Goes into this, the room with the safe deposit boxes, gets something out of it, goes back downstairs. Whole like 6 or 7 cops are standing there waiting. They just lay into him. They shoot him, 15, 20, 30 times, and he just keeps coming. And he's shooting them, and he walks out, gets in the car, in his getaway car, and he's sitting next to a priest. And the priest, kind of he has this, he picks up this necklace that the guy's wearing. He's just kind of looking at it. It's got blood all over it and everything. And he just like snatches it off the dude's neck. Guy dies immediately. And then, he pries out of his dead hands whatever it was he took out of the safe deposit box. So they cut to this mayor of this little town in Spain, because it's all in Spanish.
Okay.
And this mayor is at this event for his wife, like she's opening up some company or whatever. And his assistant is coming up to him and is like, "Oh, we got to go." And he's like, "No, not now, blah, blah, blah." And he leans in, he's whispering something to him, and he's showing him this video, and he's like, "Oh, I got to go." And she's like, "In the middle of the thing, blah, blah, blah." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's more important than this." He's like, "Yes." Right. And he leaves, goes to this little, he's in this little town. He goes to this farm, and a cow just gave birth to a human baby. And so now they're trying to figure out what's going on with that. That's where they go and get the priest, because he'll know what to do, I guess. So that's where I'm at now.
Crazy. That's
it's supposed to be pretty good, though. I've heard it's pretty good.
Yeah, the horror games and movies. Whoever came up with the Human Centipede. Have you seen
Alan Wake?
Okay,
that's coming this week. Alan Wake 2.
A Siberian film?
Like, that's the name of it? A Siberian film? That's a terrible name, but no, I've not heard of it.
It is basically a snuff film with some real fucked up shit. So
okay, well, I'm a pass.
Watch it. Human Centipede's pretty bad, but a Siberian film. Let me see if I can read you. I just want to read you a synopsis real quick.
Maybe not. This is me saying to you very clearly that I am not into that, and I would not like to hear a synopsis of this movie, which you are clearly still looking up. Okay.
No, that's not it.
Oh no, you couldn't find it. No. You really don't need to find it. It's okay. Check out Carlos Booster's picks. Yeah. Carlos is a weird looking dude. You know we're still live, right, Shug? You can't just stop in the middle of a live show and sort of start looking stuff up.
I have to find it for you because
you don't have to find it. I do not want it.
I'll have to find it for you. All right. Before we get out of here, we're still live on TikTok and YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Before we get out of here, let the people know where they can find you at, Brody.
You can find me on Lunch Break Hot Take every Wednesday evening at 7:15 p.m. Eastern Time. We do the LBHT show. Follow that up with the Overtime show for patrons. You can also find me on Monday nights over on Sip to Tally Films with Coach Evans, my brother Jose, OTR Mike, Hendo from the Rogue Pod, Chris Just Joking from the Deep Cover Pod for the Ravens Roundup. And obviously you can find me here on Tuesday nights. And you can also sometimes find me on Ring Kings. Whenever there's a big event, we go live, typically in the middle of the night, Saturday going into Sunday morning. So head over there and hit subscribe if you are into boxing. And you're still looking a thing up in
the opening to this plot says, there it is. I just found it. An Asian porn star agrees to an art film in order to make certain break from the business, only discovered that he's been drafted into making
pedophilia and necrophilia theme
stuff. Yeah.
Y'all are the worst.
Unprofessional. From IMD. Thank you, Jeremy. I kept spelling it wrong, because I can't spell this shit. Make sure to check out. When are we doing our Ring Kings pound for pound? Is that going to happen soon?
Listen, I don't even know if Ring Kings is a thing anymore. So we'll talk about that offline.
Jay said, bringing it back by popular demand, intentional grounding.
That's Hendo's show.
That's your show too.
No, it is not.
Absolutely your show. But make sure to check out LBHT tomorrow. It's going to be a great show.
Thank you.
With Jose and Brodney and probably somebody else, since they don't ever invite me on.
You're always invited on, Shug.
No Puerto Ricans allowed.
Jose is Puerto Rican.
No Dominicans allowed.
You're not Dominican.
I'm 1%.
And Hendo has been on many times. So.
You can find me Suge Knight 1323 on Twitch, Suge Knight 323 on Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. where we have every Tuesday, Still Conspiracy, and on Twitch, I usually will be playing Fortnite, Magic the Gathering, maybe something else. Maybe I should play some Star. I haven't touched Starfield. Just haven't touched it.
Disgusting.
Touched
But
it
since
one
we
time.
are streaming live on TikTok as well, you can follow us at LBHT Show on TikTok
You
and
should. Do you guys
Twitter,
post any videos though?
Instagram. I mean, looks, come find out. Okay.
You go. That's the only way to find out. I will be streaming a little bit more on TikTok as I'm trying to get a stream key so I can put it in OBS and be able to stream both on TikTok and Twitch. Did you hear at TwitchCon they announced you're going to be able to multi-platform stream?
Yeah, they announced it like it was a feature and not the result of severe backlash to them being dipshits.
Well, did you hear that some guys went and kick gear and they kicked them out? The whole thing. And then they banned a guy that had gets like 400 or 500 watchers daily, and banned him from Twitch. So now he's gonna go over to Kick. So he's about to get paid. So but I need Kick. If anybody out there is from Kick and you're watching this, what I need you to do is be able to let us not let, because on OBS you can take the music out of the VODs of Twitch, so you can play music, but it won't record the music, and that's how you don't get a copyright strike. Because that's what Twitch does, is they copyright. They go through your VODs and they see if there's copyright, and then they copyright strike you. Well, because you can take that out, they don't copyright strike you. But Kick doesn't have that, and
Yeah.
I want to be able to play, because there's something about listening to NWA while you're shooting people with ray guns that just is fun. Or you're slinging magic cards and you're listening to
Nobody
Snoop Dogg.
slings magic cards.
Everybody,
Nobody slings them.
They call me the salami slinger. Okay. I don't know if they told you. I don't know if they went up there.
See you next
Rodney.
week.
I don't know if they went up there and told you.
See you next week.
I'm a card slinger and the salami slinger.
See you next Tuesday.
Jeremy, what? I will be doing review on Loki, but we're gonna wait until the end of the season to do it, because I don't want to be doing shows every week. Make sure you guys follow, comment, like, everything like that. Make sure to follow Brian.
When is Late Night with Sugar and Amber coming back?
We will see. It's scheduling stuff right now, but we will see.
So Friday?
No, there'll be a minute.
That's what I heard. I heard it was Friday.
I don't know who you heard. I don't know if they went up there and told you in your big YouTube 1,000 people followers. We don't do that down here. We don't go by rumors.
Wow.
Okay. But I heard what I heard is
says Old Man Gamers is back. I think we're done
that's
here.
what I heard.
I think we're
Good
done
night,
here.
everybody.